Hi everyone. Welcome back to the channel. In today's tutorial, we're going to learn how to simulate connecting two or more computers through a router in Cisco Packet Tracer. You'll see step by step how to set up the router, assign IP addresses, and make all the PCs communicate across different networks, just like in the real world. So grab your Cisco Packet Tracer, follow along, and let's get started. First, open Cisco Packet Tracer. When the login window appears, click on Skill for All. This will open your browser and take you to the Cisco Skills for All login page. Just log in with your Cisco account, or you can create a new one if you don't have an account yet. After logging in, you'll see a message that says, "You have successfully logged in to Cisco Packet Tracer." You may close this tab. Go ahead and close the browser tab, then return to Cisco Packet Tracer. Now, in Cisco Packet Tracer, go to the bottom left panel where it says Network Devices. Click on it, then select Routers. From the list, drag one router, for example, a ISR 4331 router, and drop it onto the workspace area. Then, still in the Network Devices section, click on Switches. From the list, drag two switches, for example, 2960 switches, and drop them onto the workspace. Then, go to the End Devices section at the bottom left corner of the screen, click on End Devices again to open the full list, then drag two PCs onto the workspace area. Then, go to the Connections at the bottom left, from the list of cables, select Copper Straight-Through Cable. Then, click on the switch, and select one of its Ethernet ports, for example, Fast Ethernet 0/1, next, click on the router, and choose one of its Gigabit Ethernet ports, for example, Gigabit Ethernet 0/0/0, to connect it to the switch. Now, select the Copper Straight-Through Cable again, then, click on the second switch, and choose one of its Ethernet ports, for example, Fast Ethernet 0/1, next, click on the router, and select another Gigabit Ethernet port, for example, Gigabit Ethernet 0/1, to connect it to the second switch. Next, select the Copper Straight-Through Cable again, then, click on PC 0, and choose its Ethernet port, for example, Fast Ethernet 0, after that, click on the switch and select one of its Ethernet ports, for example, Fast Ethernet 0/2, to connect it to the switch. Now, select the Copper Straight-Through Cable again, then, click on PC 1, and choose its Ethernet port, for example, Fast Ethernet 0, after that, click on the second switch and select one of its Ethernet ports, for example, Fast Ethernet 0/2, to connect it to the switch. Next, click on the router, and go to the CLI tab. If a message appears asking, "Would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog?" Just type no and press enter. Then press enter again to start using the router. First, type enable and press enter. This command moves you from user exec mode to privileged exec mode, which allows you to configure the router. Then, type configure terminal and press enter. This command takes you into the global configuration mode, where you can start setting up interfaces, IP addresses, and other router settings. Then, type interface Gigabit Ethernet 0/0/0 and press enter. This command selects the first router port that connects to your first switch. Then, type IP address 192.168.1.125.255.255.0 and press enter. This command assigns the IP address 192.168.1.1 to the router's Gigabit Ethernet 0/0/0 interface, with a subnet mask of 255.255.255.0. This IP address will act as the default gateway for the first network. Now, type no shutdown and press enter. This command activates the router's interface, turning it from administratively down to up and running. Next, type exit and press enter. This command takes you out of the interface configuration mode and back to the global configuration mode, where you can set up the next interface. Then, type interface Gigabit Ethernet 0/0/1 and press enter. This selects the second router port, which connects to your second switch. Next, type IP address 192.168.2.1255.255.255.0 and press enter. This assigns the IP address 192.168.2.1 to the router's Gigabit Ethernet 0/0/1 interface with a subnet mask of 255.255.255.0. This IP address will serve as the default gateway for the second network. Now, type no shutdown and press enter. This command turns on the Gigabit Ethernet 0/0/1 interface, activating the connection between the router and your second switch. Next, type exit and press enter. This brings you out of the interface configuration mode and back to the global configuration mode. You've now finished configuring the router. You can close the CLI tab and go back to the main workspace in Cisco Packet Tracer. Now, let's configure the IP addresses for both PCs. Click on PC 0, then go to the Desktop tab and select IP configuration. Enter IP address 192.168.1.2, subnet mask 255.255.255.0, and default gateway 192.168.1.1 to configure PC 0 so it can communicate within its local network and connect through the router to other networks. Then, click on PC 1, go to the Desktop tab, and open IP configuration. Enter IP address 192.168.2.2, subnet mask 255.255.255.0, and default gateway 192.168.2.1 to configure PC 1, allowing it to connect to its local network and communicate with other devices through the router. Then, click on PC 0, go to the Desktop tab, and select Command Prompt. This will open a terminal window where you can test the network connection between the two computers using the ping command. In the command prompt of PC 0, type ping 192.168.2.2 and press enter. This command sends test packets from PC 0 to PC 1 through the router. If everything is configured correctly, you'll see reply from 192.168.2.2, which means both computers can now communicate successfully across different networks. And that's it. You've successfully connected 2 or more computers through a router in Cisco Packet Tracer. We configured the router, set up IP addresses for each PC, and tested the connection using the ping command. If this tutorial helped you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tutorials. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.